episode of Alpha Simulation. Today I'm gonna show you how to set up, configure and test the Pedestal that came from Sysmo Solution. It's gonna be quite a much shorter video from the rest because it's gonna be exactly the same as we did for the MIP, MCP and E-phase, so I don't need to go over and over again. Let's get into it. For those of you who didn't remember what the Pedestal looked like, or if you didn't see my video, I strongly suggest you to go on my YouTube channel and watch the video on the Pedestal. So this is the one that I'm gonna test, configure, and we're gonna try to test against ProSim. So first thing to do, two cable. One is the Ethernet cable, the other one is the power. So the Ethernet goes into the hub. Sorry about the mess, it's again, we are in testing phase, so it goes to the hub, which is connected to the same network of everything else, my computer and the rest of the simulation. And then we connect the power. When the power is connected, there is not an on and off switch in this one, so it will go through some sort of very fast self-configuration. And then all you see is this 4 display with the T. The T doesn't mean that it's an error, it means it didn't get, you didn't configure yet. So let's go into and let's show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so first things to do is to go into your Sysmo website and download the technical report, which is a simple technical user guide. I already downloaded for you and I have it here somewhere over here. There you go. Okay, if you remember from the last time, it's important to understand what is the host port of your modulo. The last time we were doing the MCP and MIP, this time we're doing the Pedestal. So for the Pedestal we have 1153, and if you go to your ipconfig run command, go first to command prompt and then do ipconfig. Okay, you will see that you have the initial there. That's important, so just copy and paste this one, but the last 3 digits should be 153. Okay, so let's go and do that. Let's open a new one here. 192.168.1.153. Okay, and straight away you go into the configuration mode of the Pedestal. Nothing to change here, you just want to make sure that it is correct here. This always stay the same. Host port should be 1153, as I showed you before. Local port you don't need to change. The only things you need to do is to make sure that here you put your IP address. In my case is 253. So you put it here and then you save the configuration page. This one again it's already pre-selected for you, so you don't need to change anything. But again, if you wanna see exactly what the boards needs to be connected, go again to your I don't think it's in the technical I don't think it's on the technical report. Let's have a look. So it shows a little bit about the configuration. But to understand what boards daughter board needs to be configured, I think you need to go to the next one. I think it's the gauge setup. Let me have a look. No, it's not this one. There are essentially 3. Okay, I think it's this one. SCMB Ethernet configuration, that's the one that you want. Anyway, all of these documents are in the Sysmo Solution website. Okay, so if you scroll down, all the nice stuff here, so it reminds you there, the Pedestal. All you need to go is to go into when it talks about the configuration daughter board, and here we go here. So the following table shows the daughter boards that must be active for each module. So in this case we have the Pedestal, we need the outputs 1 and input 1, 2 and the servo. No, sorry, outputs 1, input 1, 2, servo, display 1, display 2. So let's have a look. we got output 1, input 2, servo, display 1, display 2. Okay, so we are okay. So then if you want to change anything, you can save the daughter configuration. Once again, you can, if you want to be, certainly you can activate all of them, but that means that, for example, if these two boards are not connected, you're activating something that doesn't exist there in your module. So it will take a little bit more time for the module maybe to respond to the commands and the prompt from the ProSim. I didn't test that, but that's what the system say. But anyway, if you have any trouble, just connect everything and you're ready to go. Okay, so now you can close this and you can close everything else, and all you have to do is to open the ProSim. So let's open ProSim and you will see exactly how ProSim start to communicate with the Pedestal and everything will start up. Okay, so ProSim has started. Now, as you can see here on the left in the input output module, you will see the Sysmo Pedestal. Of course, if you don't see that, it's because you need to go to configuration, go down to drivers, all the way to Sysmo Ethernet board support. Of course, it must be enabled, and make sure that when you go to the Pedestal, everything that you need to have is configured. Now let's sometimes it will, if you try to configure something, it will tell you that it's enabled because it's not connected. It depends what your choice for the Pedestal was. Okay. For example, the multi-nav, I don't have it, so of course it will tell me that you cannot connect. Why I don't have multi-nav? Because I choose the different version of the nav. Okay, so everything should be already nicely connected. Once you've done, you press OK, you press OK, and obviously if you didn't do it before, the ProSim will restart automatically, and then you will see exactly everything configured. Now, what you see here, obviously we have the nav 1, the nav 2 is still off, and also the radio, the communication 2 is still off. We got the transponder working. This one obviously needs to be calibrated in a ProSim. Okay, so not everything is connected yet because we still have to do a little bit of calibration. So let me show you how to do that. Right, I zoom a little bit for you guys so you can see exactly how this is gonna move when we start the calibration. So all we have here, the only gauge that we have here that we can see is the rudder trim. Okay, so you can go into ProSim and find it yourself, but you need to know which servo motor needs to be activated in ProSim in order to work with this. So if you go back into your software again, so there is one of the Sysmo document, which is the using ProSim 737 version 2 with Sysmo module plug and fly Ethernet. Scroll down towards the end and it will tell you the number of the servo of each gauge which needs to be activated. So in this case you can skip the MIP, the afterward. We are interested in the Sysmo Pedestal. So for the Pedestal we have the rudder trim gauge associated to servo 1. Now you also want to check that there is nothing else for the Pedestal. Okay, so we only have one. Okay, so we know that this is associated to servo 1. We go back into ProSim, configuration, combine config. Now you can search yourself, but the best way is to just type rudder trim and ProSim will find exactly where you can find it. So we only have flight control. Obviously it's not a switch, it's not a gauge numerical, it's a gauge. So we go into the gauge and we look into this. So we have to calibrate now live. Okay, so I've never done this before, so I'm gonna calibrate exactly in front of you guys. Rudder trim gauges. So first of all, we have Sysmo Pedestal. We choose that, and we know then we need to choose servo 1, which is already selected for us. Negative 15, let's have a look. What you want to do, so we have negative 15, I suppose, is the left, then 0, and the plus 15 will be the right. So we are going to slide over all the way to negative 15, and when this one goes exactly there, we're going to leave the slide. Let's try. So I'm going to... Okay, interesting. So negative 15 looks like it goes on the opposite. Okay. Okay. It's a little bit tricky. I think we need... Okay. So once you reach close to negative 15, I think we need to go gently. No, it goes all the way back. Okay, negative 15. What they don't call left or right? Negative 15. Okay, let's try the other one. So let's try the 0. So 0 just slightly to the right. So let's move this a little bit more. I think a little bit more, just to be precise. Not too much. So that's the thing. I have been an engineer. Everything has to be precise with me. If it's not symmetrical and precise, I don't like it. 15. Okay, this one should be all the way to the right. Okay, seems I cannot get all the way, because then 17 it will need to be even higher than I need to figure out this. I'll come back to you when I find the solution. It seems that for some reason the servo go all the way to 15. If I put all the way to the down, it doesn't even reach 15, it reaches about 12. Right, so I'll get back to you guys and let's see what the mystery is. Alright, so I've been looking a little bit into the problem. I think there is no problem as such, everything works okay. It's more to do with the servo, the servo motor. There is only a tot number of turns they can go one way and tot number of turns they can go the other way. So it cannot reach over 15 or left 15. I guess I have to calibrate between 0 and 10 and plus 10. I mean, during the flight, you are not gonna lose. You're not gonna never use that much of a rudder trim from the pedestal. So I'm not too bothered about. It would be nice to actually have exactly all the way full scale, but I think it's to do with the limitation of the servo motor. But I wanted to show you something that I think it will be helpful for everybody. Going back to the software, now there is a software that Sismo provide free of charge, you can download, and it's the SC Pascal. You don't need this software, but this is used to test the module that you purchased from, and I'll show you exactly how it works. You can open, make sure that you have the latest. Okay, so don't worry about all this, it's down in the beginning, but just go to option and you need to make sure that you put the UDP port that you want to test. If you remember, it was 1153, then you click save and it will show you all the boards. Now if we go to the main board, okay, and if you for example want to do a test all, it will go input by input and it will test all the lights, all the display. I don't want to waste much time, so I just want to put all on. And as you can see, it will turn on everything. Now, this is not turn on everything as such, because as you can see, we still have some module off. This is only testing in terms of communication, everything else is working. We have the display, obviously all the digits, and I will explain why we have different, this strange pattern here. It's quite interesting. But for example, if you want to know why this is not turning on, it's because this is connected to a different card, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. If I put everything off and close this, and I think is output 1. Now this one, if I turn on, it will turn on the other card. So this tells me that everything is working, okay? Because we can off this. So if we check again, all this is on, and this one in op is also on. So that means that the other card should turn on. Sorry, I think I pressed the same one. Yes, so it turned on the opposite, the one that is not connected to the initial card, so everything except this one. So you, as long as you see that everything turned on is fine. Now, about this display, let's suppose that you want to test this display. So for example, we go into the first display. We can click here, test display, and you can send any command you want. For example, let's send a 0 to the display. So you basically create a 0 and send it, and as you can see, it changed to 0. Okay, so let's say you wanna send an 8, becomes 8. Let's send a F. Let's send 2. It's very interesting to use this program to test exactly how the display communicates, if everything works. And for example, if you try to set a number and you see that one of the displays not working, then of course it's hardware problem. Now, if you wanna test this, then you have to go to the next display. So you need to understand how the cards are connected. Okay, so don't get scared if you see that only this is getting the inputs and the rest is not. You need to understand which card you need to communicate. So display 1 will be obviously this display, and display 2 will be this. As you can see, I'm sending 2 to 2. If I change E, for example, and then we see that this is, it really depends how inside is connected. Let's try display 2. Display 2, I believe, should be this 2. Let's try with an 8. Okay, so as you can see, the rest stay as E, and this one becomes 8. Okay, so why I'm showing this? Because it's a very, very good software that allows you to test hardware issue. Sometimes you may think that it's a ProSim issue, but instead of going there and start to play around with ProSim and perhaps change the configuration, because ProSim is it's a wonderful program, but if you don't put things correctly, things can go wrong very easy. I suggest you to download this free program, test all the hardware, and once the hardware everything tests good and pass, then you can start see what the issue is in ProSim. Okay, so the servo. Why I'm here? Because I'm testing the servo. So you remember that it was for the rudder, it was servo 1. So you activate, and it goes all the way there. And as you can see, if I scroll between the minimum and the maximum, it doesn't go further than that. What does this tell me? It tells me there's not a ProSim issue. It tells me there's not anything else. It's more about is the servo itself, the servo motor inside, that it can turn one way or the other one. It doesn't reach all the way. You can maybe open up, change with a better servo motor, but I'm not gonna do that. By the way, the servo motors are very cheap. For example, I had a problem with my flaps gauge, and I bought 3 or 4 servo motor the same. They're like for about between £1 and £2, so you can actually do the job yourself. It's a little bit sad because I said I like perfect things, so if ProSim wants to calibrate to 15, I want to go to 15 and 17, but I guess I have to calibrate much less than that. So what I'm gonna do, let's get out from here, exit, and then let's start ProSim again. By the way, when you use this SC Pascal, ProSim has to be turned off, otherwise the two will give different communication to the device, okay? So now ProSim, I'll put it back into the normal state that we have. Let's see if I can calibrate the best I can. So we have rudder, trim, flight control, gauges. Right, let's start the best I could. Okay, so let's start with 0. Alright, so 0, it's about there. Okay, now -15. I will go all the way . Oops. Okay, I leave it there. +15, I will go all the way to the other side. And 17, I will also go all the way to this. Okay, I will leave as it is. Okay, you press OK, and now it is installed. Okay, so how do you test? Let's go for a test. Now this configure. Go into your ProSim display. Of course, you can turn on your simulator, but before doing that, you have to do everything else. Just go into your ProSim display. It's much easier to do that. And when you open up, select the Pedestal. Okay, there is an update there. Okay. So first of all, let's give to the Pedestal, let's give all the power, so everything is correctly powered up. So we are CAM1, actually this one we are CAM1, and this one will be CAM2. It's a marvelous piece of module, to be honest. Okay, we can close all this, we don't need at the moment. We close the overhead. Do I need anything here for the pedestal? I don't think so. I'm running on ground power. Yeah. If I need it, you can always reconnect. Right, so what I need is the panels. I need the pedestal. And of course it's gigantic, so you need to use your mouse to reduce. I believe, so if I remember, it's actually, is it control? No. Shift out? No. Okay. I remember, there is okay, so it's shift, on your keyboard you can press shift and minus to go much faster, so you don't have to do all the scroll down. Okay, I think that's the best we can get. Right. So let's go into remove the setup mode, because we want to go into testing mode. Let's put some backlight, obviously float light the bright doesn't work because it must be connected. So this is fantastic actually. I like the light, it looks very good. Okay, so we got at the moment 118. Let's see if everything works. It's very easy to test. So you basically change here what you want and the same should appear on your pedestal, as you can see. So I'm changing and then it will transfer. Let's go into the active. Let's put 110.30 and then active. Okay, I don't need to do everything. This is just to test. You can have fun if you want. As you can see, it's working fine. This one obviously is not active at the moment. I think I need to connect the rest of the module. V1, as you can see, it turned on in up. Okay, so this is all working fine. You press also this and that. You see how easy it is to test from here instead of your from your simulator. What is the transponder? I can't see the transponder. Where did it go? Oh, here, sorry. Oh, it's a different. So interesting. They put on the ProSim, it's on the top. I need to double check. I do remember transponder always be here. Of course, you can always change. Remember, you can always swap if you want. It works the same, but okay, this one works fine. Then obviously we have okay. The pedestal on ProSim doesn't have the ADF. So at the moment I cannot test. I don't see the FA. So we got transport. Oh, it's over here. Sorry, I'm not seeing myself. So I think the way it works if because I have a dual ADF, so I need to check how it's connected to the. Am I doing something? Okay, that's swapped. 37.1. So if I change that, it's not changing on that one. So this part I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so let's start again. So the transfer works, but it's not connected to this one. Is it connecting to this one? Okay, I need to check on the ADF. There is something going on there. I cannot seem to coordinate. The problem is that I have a dual ADF, so they are separated. One for the captain and one for the first officer. And in the pedestal for the ProSim, there is only one ADF, which is connected with ADF1 and ADF2. So if I'm going to ADF1, I think I need to press this one. No, it doesn't do it. Okay. So if I move there, as you can see, if I move from the pedestal, it moves there. So to move that, I need to okay, keeps moving there because it's active. Right, I'm sure I'm doing something either correct and I'm not seeing it, or I'm doing something wrong and I also don't see it. Okay, I don't want to take you guys too much time of my... This is part of the testing, so we have to test everything. I'll come back to you. I'm sure once everything is connected, I will figure out what the problem is. But for the rest, I'm very happy. Let's test this. Okay, overheat. We got. Okay, let's move. These are very sturdy. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm testing this against the pedestal of the ProSim. They only have one specific type of ADF. I can see that here when I move, the FDA works, so something is working there. And if I move this one on top, also it works. So, however, I can also see that they are not the same. 38, 10. Oh yeah, if they're the same. Okay, 37. Okay. So that works. And if I change this, you can see there's also changing there. And if I change the big one, you also change that. So if I go there, I think I got it, and I change here. For example, let's put 29.0.0 and I transfer. It should give me 29.0. Okay, I got it now. This one, for example, you go 03095, and then when you transfer, you will see here the 0309.5. Okay, I got it. The only thing I don't see here is actually you only see the active frequency. You don't see the one that you're actually turning. It's different than the com, the standby. For the com and the nav. Okay, so happy, everything working. Obviously this doesn't show turn it on, but you can do it like that, and then you click. Okay, done. Right guys, so we finally finished another episode of Alpha Simulation. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I have a Facebook page which I actually update with all the videos that I did so far, and the YouTube channel of course. So please subscribe so you are the first one to be notified of the future video. The next video will be the testing of the CDU for the captain and first officer from CP flight. Thank you so much. La prossima. Ciao. Stay safe. Have a good day.